Hi, I'm Abdul Kaviz from Desiana. I'll be walking through Panatha very quickly, showing how easy it is to change settings and get most out of this theme. All the important settings are exposed. You don't need to change code except in certain cases like advanced customization or you want a very customized header and footer. Say this demo is for Panatha 3.4.4. If in future we release a new version, there would be a separate video for that. So as you can see, once theme is installed and you click on the customize button, you will see uh, all the settings in the left panels, and you can change colors like brand color, brand text color, and all important colors from here. There is another setting called header and footer. By default, theme shows a minimal header, which is like there's a user menu, which looks like this. If user is not signed in, is anonymous. There would be a sign-in link, and there would be a language drop down. If your help center has multiple languages, only then this shows up. There is a community link. It shows in customization mode, and if your help center does not have community, if you have disabled it, then this link will not be shown once the theme is made live, or in other words, your end users will not see this link. If you have community enabled, then this link would appear in your live theme. But whether community is enabled or disabled, this link will always show when you are customizing the theme, so that you are able to build the feature or customize community pages and prepare the help center theme for maybe future version where you are going to add community. There is a request link that takes the user to submit request form. You can change different roles from this drop down. This is index feature, allows you to see how theme would look like once user is signed in. So this is a user menu, and all the links are same. In our theme, we provide the minimal header and footer is default. There's an option called, if you disable the minimal header footer, you see a more extended header and footer. This can be customized. These are placeholder links, like all these three links that were added. These are placeholder links, which is like these are dummy links for the demo purposes. You can change it by clicking on the edit code button, and there is a header.hps file that can be changed. If you're going to purchase a standard edition license, then you will not have this button in your Zendex customization area. That means you cannot use a full header and footer in standard edition, even if you disable this setting. That's why we recommend that if you are planning to customize the header and footer, you purchase a developer edition, which is probably 40 more US dollars from the standard edition, but you get the complete code access. You can change the header background color, which is this color. You can change header link colors. This is white, and you can, let's say if I want to make it, I don't know, let's make it something, anything. And so the moment you change the setting, uh, okay, the moment you change a okay setting, it reflects here. You don't have to refresh or do anything. As you can see, my screen is very zoomed in, so I can show you an entire theme over here. But if you want to preview the theme in a separate window so that you can see this entire preview thing in its own window, you can always right click and click on open new tab, or you can just right click on this help center link and click, maybe command or control click on this thing, so it opens in a new tab. So your preview is running in its own tab. It allows you to test how it looks in browser. So you can make changes over here, and this thing would get updated automatically. But you can always zoom in your browser so that you can just minimize. You can see the complete thing in this thing. Anyways, we'll come back to the header and footer settings. So similarly, the footer is a minimal footer. Language drop down shows only when you have only when you have multiple languages added to your index guide. If there's only single language, then this drop down will not appear. And similarly, you can actually disable the minimal footer to show full header footer. These are placeholder links, and these can be customized by edit code button, and there is a footer.hbs file. Let me show you. So yeah, let's discard changes because we just changed the. So there is this footer.hbs file, and over here you can actually add or remove the links, and these are like placeholder links, text, and you can just change it or remove things like that. So it's a simple HTML. You can always reach out at support@desiana.com when you are trying to change it, and we'll help you. So like header and footer, you can also have a footer background color. Right now it's black, and you can change it to anything you want. Similarly, the footer background text color. The name of help center, this would be your help center name, which is you whatever name you set in Zendesk guide setting. There is an option you can set the name of your help center, and it can be in multiple languages. So that's what it would come. Our help center's name is Desiana, so it's coming as a Desiana. So it is basically, you don't have to change anything over here. You have to only change your help center name, and this would be changed. You can also change fonts. So there's a list of fonts that you can pick for heading as well as text. So most often you'll be able to pick from these, and it would work out for you. But let's say if your branding guidelines or branding style requires you to use your own custom font, then you will need a developer edition because it requires changing the code. So you can click on the edit code, and then on our help center support.desiana.com, there's an article as well as a video. Sorry, there's a video of complete screencast showing that how can you use a Google font or any custom web font. Step-by-step instructions are there, and if you follow that, then you will be able to do that. You can always reach out to us at support@desiana.com. Just send an email, or you can just go to our help center website and contact us from there, the contact form, and we'll get back to you, and we'll answer all your questions and guide you, set up your theme and customize it. There's a brand option where you can set your logo. Since this logo is white, you might not be able to see, but there is a white image. You can change, you can upload your own logo. To get an idea what should be the size of the logo, you can always right click and download this image, and copy your view image or image location, and get an idea what's the size of this logo. Your logo should be fine as long as you maintain the aspect ratio, or you can always just upload different size of images, get an idea, and pick the one that works for you. And sometimes there is no fixed formula or dimension. It's you have to just try and basically choose the one that works for you. You can also upload a favicon that is shown in browsers tabs. Like these icons are shown over here for different websites. Similarly, you can choose a favicon. Then comes the images. So there is an option. This image is called hero image or homepage image. You can hide it if you want to. You can use a solid color. You can, instead of blue, you can maybe if you want to use black or something like that, you can do that. You can, or you can just leave the image there. You can upload your own image. Again, you can get an idea of this image size by view background image or something. Download this image and get an idea. Our help center has also a documentation that what are the different dimension for different assets. But you can always upload your own images and get a feel that how you want your image to be, because your image might have a different subjects, and you might want something over here than over here. So you can just try out different things. We also provide the all community templates. If you're using community, then you can also customize your community images, community homepage or topic list page image and colors. There's also a 404 image, which is when someone lands upon a page that does not exist anymore, or the page is invalid. then this is the page that is shown over here. So you can change this image from here. You can yeah, these are the messages that are shown by default. But let's say if you want to customize this page, then you need developer edition, and you can always edit the code, and there's an error page template that you can customize and change, and maybe put some links back, take people to the search page, or maybe some other page where uh, they can do something more in case they have landed on a page that does not exist anymore. So let's go back to the home page. I'll walk you through more features. So this message that says welcome to help center, this is called welcome message, and this is fully customizable. So if your help center is in one language, let's say single language, it could be English or any, you can just type that message over here. But let's say if your help center is in multiple languages, then of course you would want this message to change to different languages based on the user's current language or locale. Then you can use a feature called dynamic content. It's a feature in Zendesk support which you already have. So you can create a dynamic content placeholder. You can search in Google or search engine for Zendesk dynamic content, and there would be plenty of articles that you will get on from the Zendesk support center, which walks you through how you can use dynamic content, how to create it. We also have an article on our help center that talks about dynamic content. So you create a dynamic content placeholder, and then basically you add a different variant. Like for this message, you add an English variant of French, or Japanese or Chinese, and then you'll get a, once your dynamic content is created, you get a dynamic content placeholder name like in this format. But you what you have to do, you have to just copy this part, dc.title. So in case this is title, let's say if your dynamic content was named title, so you just copy this part, title over here, let's say, and then basically the help center would pick the language or content from the dynamic content. In case if you typed a dynamic content name over here which does not exist, then you will probably get an error like that. Okay. If you don't want to use dynamic content, just type none, and you can also customize the change the color of this welcome message. If you want to remove this line that shows a horizontal line with a big white dot, then I think this is an image and that can be changed from the CSS. For that you would have to use edit the code, and that means you need a developer edition. uh, Search placeholder text, the text that is shown over here, right, when this is some sort of a hint text or guide text, which called it's a placeholder text in technical language. You can change it. So same way, if your help center is in single language, you can change it by tapping whatever message in your language or help center's language. If it is multiple language, you can create a dynamic content and have different language variant and type the dynamic content name over here without these curly brackets or DC, just the name of the dynamic content placeholder over here, and it would work. Now most one of the important thing is like homepage blocks. So our themes, these blocks that you see, right, these icons, icon text and the border and this thing, this is what we call blocks. So there are two types of blocks that come in our themes. In this theme Panatha, there is one block called custom block. Custom blocks are basically a fixed number of blocks that can be used for anything, like to link to any page. So this is the custom block. By default this is enabled. We'll talk about category blocks in a moment. So there are a fixed number of blocks, which means there are fixed number of settings over here. There are 8 blocks. You can hide and show individually each of these blocks. You can change icon of these blocks. You can change this text, the heading or title. You can change the link. You can point these blocks to anything. It could be an article in your help center. It could be a category page or section page, or it could be a request form page, or it could be anything. It could be maybe a link to PDF file, or a page on your website, or page on internet anywhere on the web. So these are like you can use it for any purpose. These are like general purpose link or icons and blocks. So it and I'll just show you the setting for first. So you can change the icon. You can upload a PNG, SVG, JPEG image to change the icon. There is no hover image because there is a transition effect, so you have to only upload one image. If you don't want to use the image and you want to use this icon font icon library called Font Awesome, which is very popular, and it's I think open source or Creative Commons license. So they are like different font icons, and they generally have names like this. You can go to fontawesome.com to learn more about it, and you can just type something like this. That is the name of font icon, and it starts with FA pencil alt, something like that, and you can see this icon has changed. And I can just type, there is another icon I use for demo, it's called FA. So you can see the icon has changed. So you can use Font Awesome icons in your theme. You don't have to use the PNG images. It's actually recommended that you use a font icon, because unless your branding guideline wants you to use custom images, we recommend that you use Font Awesome, because it's a huge library. There are thousands of free icons, and you can and they are consistent with each other. So if you change links or add more blocks, change links or something like that, you don't have to depend on a designer to create a icon based on the current design and things like that. You can just go and pick a relevant icon from Font Awesome and just change the name. You can, if your help center is in single language, you can just change the title, type in the title in the help center's language. It could be English, or it could be Chinese or Japanese or French or any other language. So please pardon me if I missed your language, but it could be any language supported by Zendex. And if it is a multiple language help center, then you can create a dynamic content placeholder for this block name, and create different variant, or basically different translation for different heading. This getting started, you can have a different translation for the getting started in different languages. And let's type the dynamic content name over here. Over here where it's showing the hash or pound sign, you can just type you can just add a link over here. I'll show you. Okay, so this could be any link. So it could be a relative link, like if you want to link to one of your category pages, you can just type sc, and then it could be a category id, where this 234 is a category id. Or it could be any https or http page dot google.com, or it could be linked to your let's say uh, your help center in absolute URL. So you can say SC articles, SC, let's say EN US articles and things like that. So and then article ID or things like that. So it could be any link on the web. So similarly, all the blocks can be customized like that. Let's say you want to hide this block, you don't want to show it. So we don't have a separate setting to toggle this visibility of this block, because we had certain limitations in Zendex theming, where we can only expose a limited number of settings over here. It has changed. In future versions, we'll have a separate checkbox that can allow you the visibility of block. But right now it is just as simple as this, like you type hide me in this block title, and you'll see this getting started block disappearing from here. And if you type back any text, it would be taken as title. So that is about custom blocks. There are 8 number of blocks with corresponding number of settings over here. Let's say if you want to add more custom blocks, that can be done, but for those the settings cannot be exposed over here. And in order to add more custom blocks, you would have to edit the code, uh, and that means you need developer edition license. And once you have developer edition license and you want to add more blocks, you can just email us. We have ready to go document. Most likely we'll put that it on our help center, but we'll be happy to share the document with you, so you know how to add more custom blocks over here. Now let's talk about another kind of block. So let's say if you have a requirement that you want to list all of your categories that you have in Zendex guide as these like blocks or icons on the home page, then we provide another kind of there is a setting you can enable it, and all your categories are listed. Right now you don't see any icons, but there is a process that you can associate icon with each category. Let's say if your help center just has just one category and you have a lot of sections in that category. In that case, all the sections in that one category help center would be listed instead of categories, because you don't have categories, you just have one category. So instead of listing one icon for that category, all the sections in that category would be listed over here. You can turn on and off the borders of these blocks, and then to associate the icon with like these icons, the way you have icons over here, if you want the similar icon with your category blocks, that requires editing the code. That means you need developer edition and access to the code, this button in your help center theme customization area. And once you do that, then there is an article on a help center that walks you through the process that how you can associate icon with these things, which is very simple process. And you can always reach out to us and we'll help you with that. We will point you, will help you answer all your questions. It's very straightforward. In fact, let me cancel, let me save so that I can kill. And then the process is as simple as, there are different ways to do it. Either you can just upload an image, that says, there's a process that you can upload an image which says icon dash category name dot png in your assets, and the icon would be automatically associated. Okay, and basically, or another process is you can manually associate something like that. So I can do something like that, where assets, I'll upload an icon. Let's say I called it search icon.svg. I'm going to use it for one of the categories. So I'll type my category or section ID that is listed on the home page, and then I'll do, you don't have to use the code, because there is a simple process of just dragging and dropping, and then I can do search icon dot svg. That's it. This is the one line that is required. And you upload an image as an icon over here, and then type this in format where assets, and then the section of category id, section in case if you have single category help center, or category id in case you have multiple categories, and then icon would be associated, excuse me, icon would be associated with the category, and you can do it for all the category. So, or if you don't want to use the image, you don't want to upload any image, you can just type the font or some font name, like in this format. It could be FAS, FAB. There are different ways the font awesome icons are named, and then you can just type, and then icon is associated with the category. So if this looks complicated, don't worry, you can always reach out to us and we'll help you. And that's what we do. We help our customers, to accomplish what they have in their mind using our themes. So let's go back. I'll just walk you through the setting. And so you can enable the category blocks, and you can see all the categories are shown. There is another component that we have in our theme. It's called show or hide knowledge base tree, which is basically you can actually show the uh, entire help center content like this. So we do have these demo sections and things like that for testing purposes. You can see it will show up like that knowledge base, and this is the category name, and then these are the different sections in it, and you are seeing in this format. So you can enable that. If you want to enable a knowledge base and have it like show up like an accordion, so you can also have something like this. So you can show like this. So means, let's say if you don't want to use these two blocks icons, and instead rather you want a very flat look like this, you can do that, or you can show and have it also. So it's very configurable, as you can see. Then I think I forgot one more setting, or in header. There's something not in header, images. So I also forgot, it's called shrink hero on inner pages. So let me just quickly walk you. Basically it's because it's a related setting. So this is the hero image. As you can see, it has shrunk to a smaller one on the inner pages, but if you don't want to shrink it, you can just uncheck this setting, and then this is how it would appear. So that's, yeah, that's an important one, so I wanted to show you. We'll go back to the home page. Then there's another component, as you can see over here, it says promoted articles. So basically promoted articles is you can promote any article. There is a setting when you are editing or creating an article in Zendesk Guide. There is a setting on sidebar in article setting where you can promote any article. Basically you can make an article appear at the top of the section or the category, so you can promote any articles. So you can, like in this case I think there are only 2 articles that are promoted, so you are seeing here. So you can show up to like maybe 5 or 10 promoted articles on the home page, and these would be the across the categories. And there is a way Zendex actually create this list of promoted articles, how your categories and sections are sorted, and then it picks the top 10 or something promoted articles. I think there is no limit on number of articles that can appear, but I think it's not infinite, it's a limited, probably 10 or 20. So, and yeah, so this is the promoted article. Now let's talk about let me show you how category page shows up. This is how category page looks like, and we provide a setting that allows you to hide this sidebar that comes on category page if you don't like it. And if you want your content to appear in single column, you can also do that on category as well as section page. So you can do this single column thing. If you are showing this sidebar, this is how sidebar looks on desktop. But if you are going on make it smaller, this is a responsive user interface. On the mobile devices, the menu would come on the top and there would be a text called menu. Of course this is in English, but you would want it in the current language of your end user or the help center's language, whatever the chosen language is. Then you can use a dynamic content, as we talked about it, and create different variant and use the dynamic content name over here, and then you can localize this menu text. So yeah, so we provide this setting that is applicable for category pages and section page. And yeah, some people want to hide this follow button on the section page. I think to hide it you would have to edit the code. In future version we'll expose the settings so that you can do it from settings, but right now you need edit code, and that means developer edition, to hide this follow button on the section page. But for article page, let's come to article page. There is a setting for article template. So you can see in the setting there is a show or hide comment block. Like if you don't want to show this comment block over here, like you don't want user to be able to add the comment, there is a way you can disable the comment from Zendesk guide. In article setting you can disable the comment for particular article, but let's say you want to do it globally for all the articles, then you can just hide it over here. It's not too foolproof because but it would disable the user's ability to add the article from sorry, comment from the article, and you don't have to do it for each article. So yeah, then there's a sidebar that shows on the right side. It basically shows all the articles in this section, which is like current section announcement. If you don't want to show this sidebar, you can just toggle this setting. Similarly, you can hide these sidebars the same way we did it in category and section pages. There is a show or hide sidebar. In future version we are working to consolidate all these settings in different groups, so that we have an easier way to do it. But I think it makes sense to do it in the current context of the template. And if you don't want to show this author meta, like the name of author and time and icon and this author icon, you can just hide it from here, and this will disappear. And then you can also hide this social sharing icon if you don't want. This allows your users to share your article on social media, so you can hide it. Yeah.
And then again same setting to customize, localize the name of the mobile responsive collapsible menu that shows up. Let me show you once again this menu. The articles in this section, this text is automatically localized for you. So this is like by Zendesk, so it automatically localized in different languages based on the current language of health center. We also have a component called table of content heading, which is, let me show you. So yeah, so if your article has a certain if your article has certain headings in place like h3, h4, h5, then a table of content is automatically generated like this. And then you can localize this in, change this language, sorry, this text that says in this article from here, or you can just localize it using dynamic content. So this is automatically linked and it is bookmarkable, so you can always, the IDs are generated, they are pretty unique, so you can just copy paste and share it, and your user would be able to jump to the article like by opening the a particular section in the article by opening the link itself. So I think that's it in the section page. uh, um, I'm sorry about making this video very casual, the way I speak and talk. The purpose is like so you can understand, and I'm also comfortable explaining different things. Then there's a search page, so you can search table, let's say. So auto complete is automatically shown if you hit enter. So you can just type a keyword and hit enter. Once you hit enter, you are shown a search result page. There's a sidebar, and then there's this thing. So if you don't have a community, then this sidebar actually does not make sense, because it's showing articles, community topics and all that, because search is unified search, so it searches your community pages as well as help center pages and shows unified results and allows the user to filter the results based on that type, whether these are results are articles or they are from community topic and post and things like that. So if you don't have a community, you can just disable it, and that gives you much more focused result. So yeah, so that's search result. And now let's talk about social media icons. So you can have your social media links shown as icons. By default they are nothing, so you can just type something like that. uh, it could be anything you handle, and as the moment you type a link, it would show up. We assume that you are typing right link, because there is no way we can validate to add the validation for these links in the code. It would just make theme unnecessarily heavy, so we are assuming you type a right link. So the icon is shown over here. Similarly, you can do it for Facebook and all that. Let me do it for, let's say, and so you can see the LinkedIn is shown. If you don't want to show, you can always type this hash. And yes, so these are the settings, and we think because earlier earlier were more basically there was limited number of settings that we can expose over here. That has been changed. We made a request to Zendex to increase the limit numbers, and they have done it, and thanks to Zendex. So in next version of our themes you will see more settings. So if you're purchasing a standard or developer edition, you would have access to the future upgrades. We'll try our best that when you upgrade to that, all your existing settings are migrated, you don't have to redo the things. But if you have customized the code, then I think you have to redo things, because at this moment, once you customize the code, a theme cannot be automatically upgraded. So I'm sure there must be some way you can get in touch with the Zendex to understand that how what is the upgrade process. I believe like you can just make a duplicate of your developer edition purchase theme and make the changes in the duplicate version, duplicated theme, so you're not touching the pristine version that you have purchased. So if there is a future upgrade, you can upgrade that new version and then basically again make a duplicate and customize it. That is my understanding, and marketplace is very new, so we are also trying to figure out a lot of things for as a customer like you or as a theme developer. So yeah, we'll have more understanding in future. So they are like all the templates are here. Let me all the templates we provide all the templates community or gather as that's a new term used for community, and error and section pages. There's a contribution page. Our theme is fully responsive, so let me show you. It's a fully responsive theme, so let's show icon so you can get more, you can get better idea. So see, once I change the setting over there, yeah, I don't have to refresh anything, the page automatically refreshes. And this is how actually it would look like. I've just zoomed out and it looks pretty nice, as you can see. And you can, it's a responsive theme, as you can see. When your end users are seeing on different devices, the theme would respond to different device resolution and try to make sure that everything looks neat and clean, and the menu is collapsed, and you can click on like a link and you can see how it works. You can go to article page and it's pretty readable, everything looks nice. So yeah, means it's very responsive. We have tried our best that it works across different kind of devices. And these are the community templates. There's a contribution template, user profile page. There's a one important thing that I must mention, which is our themes come with a subsection support. So if you have subsections of flexible hierarchy enabled, which is you are using that and you have a Zendesk Enterprise, then you will see all the subsections working fine. Which is like when you go on a section page, you can have a nested sections, and everywhere in the theme you will see subsections are supported. So that's the walkthrough. I was expecting it to be very a shorter video, but it ended to